Hi everyone, Flame Grilled here. I hope you are all having a wonderful season 24. Now, I got a couple of comments and questions on my last video. Specifically, I got a couple of people wondering if I could make a video on a 110 greater if speed farming build. As the last video pretty much focused on my 90 speed farming build, which even a week into this season is definitely no longer cutting it. The season has been very easy in terms of progression. I think you can all agree we are doing a lot more damage than we're probably used to this early in the season. But anyway, this is just a quick less than 5-minute guide on my 110 speed farming build. So if this build helps you out, if you do like the video, please remember to like the video, comment your thoughts, give us a subscribe. It really helps out the channel and I do appreciate it. So to start off with my gear, obviously we're using the INNAS 6-piece and we are still using the All Guilds 3-piece. I have now switched to a Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose combination, and I am also using a convention of elements. Of course, we need crudest boots for this build to do any sort of damage. I luckily got a primal pair, which I'm stoked with. And as for my weapons, ethereal, you'd want to go for a jade or a claw with an ingium or a Messerschmitt's Reaver, passive preferably. And as your secondary weapon, a crystal fist. As getting into the 110s and higher, you start to take quite a bit of damage. So the crystal fist damage reduction from dashing strike is really handy. In terms of gems, which I realized was something I didn't cover in my last video, these gems are just your standard gems for all INNAS builds. You want to be using a Bane of the Trapped, Bane of the Stricken, and an Enforcer, as your Mystic allies do count as pets. Now, in the cube, I have either an Ingium or a Messerschmitt's for your weapon, depending on what your Ethereal has. I also have a Binding of Lesser Gods, and of course a Ring of Royal to make the INNAS and All Guilds combo possible. In terms of gear rolls, obviously you maximize crit damage. You also want to be rolling for Mystic ally damage where you can, and also a Fire skills increase as we are switching to the Fire ally for this build. In terms of skills, it's pretty similar to the last build that I put up. You want to be using Way of the 100 Fists with the Assimilation rune, Cyclone Strike with Implosion. Mystic ally, you want to be using the Fire ally this time, Dashing Strike with Blinding Speed for the extra toughness, Desert Shroud Epiphany, and Ascension Serenity. And in terms of passive skills, I've gone for a mix of damage, toughness, and also cooldowns. Obviously, Beacon is something you pretty much always want to be running as a monk. I've got Harmony as well for the toughness. I also have Momentum, as this is, a speed farming build, so we are constantly going to be moving. And lastly, just Relentless Assault. These can be switched up depending on what you find you're lacking in. If you need more toughness, feel free to go for Sixth Sense or something like that. Or if you need more damage, feel free to switch something out as well. In terms of playstyle, this is an extremely simple build. Basically, you want to keep your Epiphany up when you can for that 50% extra damage reduction. If you feel like you're about to take a lot of damage, for instance, if you're standing in an explosion or something like that, just pop Serenity. And apart from that, your main rotation of skills will be focusing on your other 4 skills. You'll Dashing Strike into enemies to increase your toughness. Once you're in the middle of quite a few enemies, Cyclone Strike to group them all up. This is also going to increase their damage taken from the Mystic ally. Then you want to hit with Way of the 100 Fists a couple of times to activate the increased damage from the Assimilation rune, and then pop your Mystic ally. It really is that simple. Sometimes in 110s, you actually don't even need to hit with Way of the 100 Fists. You can simply just Cyclone Strike and Fire ally, and it should be enough damage to kill them. Obviously, with elite packs, you'll want to attack with Way of the 100 Fists just to increase your damage. Now, the main issue with this build is Fire ally does have rather a long cooldown, which is why I've opted to go for the Ingium or the Messerschmitt's, or in this case, both. Any amount of cooldown reduction you can get for your Fire ally is going to be worth it, because outside of using your Fire ally, you pretty much don't do damage. So the combination of the Messerschmitt's and the Ingium means essentially your Mystic ally doesn't have a cooldown and you can consistently spam it, which is going to obviously speed up your clear time by quite a lot. And that's it, guys. It really is that simple. This is the build that I've been using for the past couple days. It's really enjoyable. It's a little less enjoyable than the Water ally, in my opinion. I just like the way that Water ally looks. But this is obviously very strong to push with. This is essentially the build that you would be pushing with. You would just be swapping out the Ingium and the Messerschmitt's for, a Furnace or a Flying Dragon. Feel free to adapt this how you want to. And yeah, let me know what you think of the build. Hopefully it helps you out. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Happy looting.